All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob at Smirking Gun Reviews, and I thought I was done making videos for Game of Thrones series finale, but I was watching something just now, and it made me go, let's talk about who won the Game of Thrones. And I purposely didn't say, who it was that won the Game of Thrones in the title, because I didn't know when it's going to be all right to put spoilers in your titles. If it's fine, I just didn't want to be that dick. I had put spoilers in there, meaning like, if you don't know, don't watch this, because we need to talk about who won the Game of Thrones, partially because of the contest that we have. So, for anybody that's worried that it's been a couple of days, we are still giving away these 2 limited edition Oreos. Now, the people who are in, that's it, it's locked up. I just have to go through all the comments, and it's over a course of videos, so I have to pour through a bunch of them, and so it's going to take me a minute before I can get the announcements out for who won the cookie contest. But there will be 2 winners chosen from the comment section, so it's still coming. I don't want anybody to think that I was just trying to get views, because I do contests all the time. Most of them are successful. The only times they're not is when the person doesn't send me their information. But getting back to this, I just want to throw that in there. So getting back to this to talk about who won the Game of Thrones. Okay, so there's tons of us that already know the answer to this and all that stuff, but I want to talk about it because, but I had to put that up there so it wouldn't be a spoiler. So we're going to go over to my Hulu account. All right. So there we have it. Bran, or the Three-Eyed Crow, or Raven, depending on which version you want to call it, the book version or the show version at this point, doesn't fucking matter. No. But after all is said and done, Bran ends up on the throne. But I don't think that that's true. I think what we just saw was master manipulation. Now, I'm not going to say that this forgives the story. It gives the writers D and B and D, lets them off the hook in any capacity. But I can say that for Bran, or as I got to keep reminding myself, the Three-Eyed Raven, this was masterful, because and maybe it's, maybe, I don't know. It's at least something that's, if you look into it, kind of is like this secret plot moving behind the scenes, that if you were paying attention, and a lot of us were, and a lot of us had questions, we were kind of like going, hey. And so I guess that's kind of the cheat, that's kind of the thing that makes it suck, is that it's kind of obvious in the end when you look at it a certain way. It's just that they kept wanting us to focus on other things. Do you know what I mean? Kind of like when they wanted us to forget where Arya was at the Battle of Winterfell. Like, jingle their keys over here, do not look over at that little girl. Do not look at that little girl. We need you to be surprised. And Bran has been kind of just sitting there so bland that, again, he's his own detractor to attention. Nobody gives a fuck about Bran anymore. And that's kind of like what a good bad guy wants, is for you to not notice what's going on. And I'm still not forgiving them for this, but it's just, I'm trying to understand it and talk about it in a way that it is not completely hateful. But what was it that Davos said about the gods? We have all these people, we come, we fight their wars for them, we get everything solved for them, and then they fuck off. And I'm kind of thinking that maybe that's what we just saw. Because why not? This is where we're at. If we're never getting any more Game of Thrones, this version, it's done, it's over. And unless George actually does give us the books, this is it. This could be it. I think we'll get Winds of Winter, but I'm just saying, prepare yourself. Well, what if George just fucking drops dead and they don't find the manuscript? Like we get a partial release of a book. You know what I mean? So, anyway, get back to this. So, like I said, what Davos said makes sense here, because when magic kind of came back, right, it made the whole White Walker thing, maybe that was coming anyway. Who knows with the way they were writing this. Because like people have said, like tons of, like Gary at Nerdrotic has said, the Night King is a show creation. The Whites and the White Walkers and all that have been it's not a big part of the book still, really. And so when it's like the Three-Eyed Raven just needed its host. It needed somebody to help it because it was in danger. The Night King was coming for him. And so to get what he wanted, it's like he saw the past, present, and future already. He knew what he had to do, but it was about getting that. How could he get it there? You know what I mean? And even though it's time travel type shit, so it doesn't fucking make sense logically, most of it. Avengers Endgame made fun of time travel a lot, so it's okay. We all know it's ridiculous, and when they use it in movies and stuff. And so he found his host in this boy that couldn't walk anymore. And he's a Stark. He's already up north. And he's a warg, so he's perfect. And so this is just my theory, okay? I mean, other people maybe have talked about this, I don't know. But everything was just set in motion to get there. What kid wouldn't want to go find the reason why he can go become his wolf all of a sudden? And, when kids are, I don't know. It's dangerous and shit, but that's their world. But so they get him, and he gets people to take him with him. And he gets there, and then the Three-Eyed Raven shows him around, gives him the $3 tour, and, gets him, sees shit from his past. And I think that was a manipulation, too, showing what happened with Jon Snow and everything, giving him that, giving his trust over to him so that he could take over. By that person, I mean the Three-Eyed Raven. So when it finally comes and takes him over, and Bran is now in the background, he's a memory. Bran's the host body. All of a sudden he just sits there and waits. He's gotten to where he needs to go. Now he just needs to kind of slowly figure out a way to use the secret of the Targaryen thing to get things rolling. And he sits there, completely bland, completely innocuous. Who nobody gives a shit, because we kept wanting him to do something and he just wouldn't do it. Because a great actor doesn't, a magician never reveals his secrets. And as I'm talking about this, I hope, that people don't think that I'm being completely stupid in talking about this. And that this is the way I think. Tell me what you guys think of this. But eventually, he gets to be right where he wants to be. The whole time he's bland. And when Tyrion's standing there and he calls him king, he suddenly perks up. All of a sudden, it's not like over the top interest, but he's certainly sounding more like a real person. And he just takes it because he knew this is where he had, and all this had to come about. And he was just waiting for his free ride to King's Landing to become king. The Three-Eyed Raven rules Westeros. Anybody thinks differently, that is you're kidding yourself. He's using Bran. It's like and the character should know this. He's told them by his own admission that he's not Bran anymore. But because he's got these special magic powers, that he's the memory of Westeros. Well, he better start writing shit down. That should be his only duties. In fact, he shouldn't be king. He should be like the royal scribe. And that he should just have guard duty, people covering him while he writes down the history of Westeros to keep it going. If he's the memory, write it down. But I guess he can also have a really long reign, because how long would the Three-Eyed Raven live? And are they going to eventually have to attach him to trees and shit? You know what I mean? It's going to get crazy up in Westeros in our brains when we think about the future of it. We're going to see some crazy-ass fan fiction. And don't think that it's not out of the realm of possibility that they were alluding to the fact that not only will Bran find Drogon, but he could bring him back. All this is all in our fantasies, in our imaginations at this point. But everything's possible when you have an open-ended story like this. And so, I hope that somebody, better than me writes down what happened, what they think happened after this. But I do think that the Three-Eyed Raven won the Game of Thrones. And it is exactly where it wanted to be. It won. And now it's fucking off, just like Davos said. We fought its war for him. And now he's got what he's wanted, and he's just going to go fuck off. And that's basically what they're telling us too. So anyway, that was just my take on this. It doesn't excuse the episode's writing and the Russianness and everything. And again, tip of the hat to the actors and all the people that made the show possible, as far as production and like set design and costume. All the people that make the show, not write the show, not produce, not created the show. Everybody but them, and the people that let them do it, HBO, and whatever fucking Game of Thrones is going on behind the scenes with them and George and HBO, they can all fuck off. But they're the gods. We watched it. We watched their war, and then they fucked off and went and did Star Wars. So anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that rigmarole. Otherwise, this is Robert Smirking Gun Review saying maybe this is the last video finally. I don't know. It'll depend on what I want to talk about next. So have a great day, and thanks for showing up. Bye.